the only identity that can save us is being a Jew. And therefore, we became a collective and we fought the Arabs who had attacked us from all sides. And the Arabs were very puzzled. They asked the British that these people who were led to the slaughter and who didn't raise a finger are now fighting like mad people. I mean, where did they get this fighting spirit? And he said that the fighting spirit came from being a collective, developing a collective identity. We developed rituals which made us feel like that we are a collective, we are a nation, and that is why we could sustain all the four wars and deal with the attacks each time. And I think it's very important for us right now also in India to realize that we need to shift from being individualistic to being a collective if we have to face all the onslaught on us at the present time. So this story by the Jewish psychologist I always remembered. He said that we realized we have to survive as a nation and that we can only do by being a collective. We have to give up our individualism.
Absolutely. So yeah, absolutely. That's why now they have these communes in which they have collective farming, and that's why this radical Jews have also come up in a big way, in the sense they are beyond law. I mean, those real radical Jews, they don't even listen to the normal Israeli law, and nobody forces them.
No, because they are what we call survivors, and there is a lot of research which is done on who's a survivor and who's not. Like, for example, if we take two soldiers, both get buried under an avalanche. So one survives after 11 days, one gives up after 5 days and dies, right? So surviving has been seen, and since we are talking about attachment and grief cycle, we have done a lot of research on who survives and who doesn't. And it has been seen again and again that there are people who survive. They follow certain rules, they follow certain beliefs within themselves. So there are many separations in life like that. There is death. For example, the day when we left school and joined college, that was a separation. When we leave college and go for our work, when we go from one country to another, I have lived abroad, and I remember that when I left India, it was my separation. It was very difficult for me. So we can separate, and each separation that we go through, we don't look forward to it. None of us who are in this lecture right now looks forward to separating from anything that we are holding on to, which we are attached to. Why is that so? It is because separation unlocks the grieving process. It gives rise to grief, which is the last, part of the cycle. Or grief results when we perceive a loss. And we are all familiar with loss. What is it? Loss means that I will only be comforted by what I have, what is no longer with me. It's like a child with a toy. Have you seen a child whose toy gets broken? However much you tell the child that, I'll get you another toy, I'll buy you a bigger toy, the child refuses to be comforted. The child only says, I'll be only comforted by this toy somewhere joining itself again. Now, many of us don't learn that we need to let go, we need to finish that grief, move on from there. The parents who teach the child that it's okay, your toy got broken, toys get broken, and you will have a new toy. So give that as a part of a lesson. Those children are able to deal with grief in later life without difficulty. Grief is not something to be scared of. Grief is not something to be ashamed of or something that you cannot deal with. Grief is finite. It comes to an end, and many our ancestors they knew about it very well. That's why they had rituals like Chautha, Tervi. In other countries, in other religions, you also have grieving rituals, which were actually able to help you get over the loss that you have undergone and create proximity again and bonding and separation. This is a cycle which repeats itself again and again in life, right? And sometimes we get stuck in this cycle, we are not able to move on. So we will talk more about it.